what could we have done to change the outcome? Now, what the Democrats did was to use the coronavirus as an excuse to loosen election rules, to make it easier and easier for people to vote, make it easier and easier for election fraud to be committed. And many of the things that they did were perfectly legal, underhanded but perfectly legal. Now, the previous election cycle, the Republicans lost 4 seats in Orange County, a county that used to be reliably Republican, got wiped out in Orange County, largely because the Democrats employed a tactic known as ballot harvesting. Legal, underhanded, but it allows votes to be turned in later on if you've assisted a voter in filling out his or her ballot. Now, obviously, assisting somebody filling out his or her ballot is wrought with potential for fraud, but the Democrats pulled that off, and they ended up snatching victory from the jaws of defeat for these races. So what do Republicans do? They didn't go BMW. They figured out what the Democrats did and engaged in the same kind of tactics. And guess what? All 4 of those seats are now back in Republican hands. So that's what we ought to be doing. I told you before that the Democrats' secret weapon was they got everybody who could fog up a vote to fog up a mirror to vote. And in my opinion, most people who've never voted are very likely Democrats. I think more Republicans are far more motivated, far more aware of what's going on than your average Democrat. And therefore, the average non-voter or seldom voter is very likely to be a Democrat. And Democrats knew that and went out to get them. Well, there are a lot of them who are Republicans, though. And did Republicans try and go out and get those? Figure out what these guys did and make the arguments persuasive. Obamacare has not realized its promises. It was supposed to bend the cost curve down. It has not. Co-pays have gone up. Deductibles have gone up. Costs have gone up. Plus, a bunch of taxes have gone up, while quality has not improved. Hasn't worked. Make the argument.